I just say again, warm welcome to everyone here in the live session. Your presence is amazing. To be in the view with you is amazing. Thank you for that. Even Nitty cannot resist anymore. So I did want to just briefly talk about this. Well, maybe we can call it the four pawns. That's right, I'm making stuff up now. So you could be in one of these four pawns. In fact, you are in one of these four pawns. One has a great whirlpool going, spinning and spinning, and you jump in and you're spinning too. That's the pond of the thoughts. Still pristine water, but it's a little spun up. The second pond is a muddy pond. You could be in that muddy pond, very thick mud, and just maybe swaying around, enjoying. This is the pond of emotion, because they feel like that sometimes, right? We have a heavy, almost stuckness. The third pond, a little bit less mud, actually, very little mud. I forget what they call that. It starts with a B, I think. That water that's a little bit gray and foggy. If anybody knows it. Yes, brackish. Sonam. It's a cool little word. So that's more the spiritual pond, the pond of the practitioner. Very subtle. I'm a Dzogchen. I've realized non-duality. The great oxymoron. So the fourth pond is pristine, pristinely pure. Just knowing when you're in a pond is good enough. And these ponds correspond with the spectrum of cognition. The Course linguistic narrator is an electromagnetic psychic confine. I'm very sorry to say, but when I hear all these spiritual teachers just giving data dumps in these videos and stuff like that, in these conferences, there's not a single pause, neither dog nor an attention. There aren't any dog paws, and there aren't any pauses in their electromagnetic data dump. Please, if you catch yourself talking, other person talking, you talking, or if you're talking to a group of people talking, and you're not breathing, you're not pausing, then you are in that pond, the whirlpooling. This is the most common place humans meet each other at. You can feel it when two people are conversing. There's an electric connection there. Sometimes very difficult to break. Think at a bar, or think at a, when you have a meeting with somebody and you're the only two people there and you're talking, 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 talking. You can tune into that. You can feel it lobe to lobe. It's a kind of love making. And I'm not trying to diss anybody here. What I'm suggesting is that there are alternatives, and perhaps humanity itself is veering into this great alternative, for it seems to be the only option: increased cognition. It's a survivability issue. If we don't become more aware, we will self destruct, just like you see people doing all the time. Increased awareness helps us in our life, helps us with our relationships, helps us with the environment. So people becoming less abusive. Every one of you that show up to these live gatherings or watching on YouTube, you're becoming less angry, less abusive, more conducive to your reality. That means one less child getting yelled at, one less child experiencing anger and violence in their environment, one less animal getting hurt and scared. One less wounded soldier. If we stay stuck in our electromagnetic whirlpool, it's only going to cause vexation and devastation, everybody. It's really worth getting used to a broader scope of the mind. So when you're thinking about stuff, turn it around. Look at yourself. The awareness can embrace what's happening. Then the thought is seen as a kind of cloud in the middle of your mind. The train stops. You're no longer bound. In modern cognitive science, they call it cognitive fusion. You're no longer fused to the thoughts. That's all I really want for you. Only reason I'm here. I plead with you. Claim your freedom. So, the coarse linguistic narrative train can be stopped. And then we can start to feel and listen and talk to our body. Instead of imposing and trampling upon the subtleties of our network, now the heart can be heard. Now we're speaking heart to heart. I'm a human. You're a human. Hi. I'm a Buddha. You're a Buddha. Ah. What's up? Hi. You see?
Hello.
We're only fighting each other when we have a thought in our mind. When the thoughts aren't there, we don't have a reason to fight each other, be mad at each other, look at each other as we're aliens or something. So I could meet you at that electromagnetic level and we could party it up. I could do a data dump and give you lots of conceptual proliferation that would make you feel a little high too. Ooh, never thought of it like that before. But that's not my style. I want to meet you at the heart first. Meet you in the view, and let's talk from there. Let's talk from the top of the mountain. That's right, we're practicing lots of awkward silence today. It's no longer becoming awkward, is it? Kind of cool. Getting used to pure presence. So when the coarse linguistic narrative releases that constant perpetuation and the heart is able to breathe a little bit, now we have any sense of substantiality, any sense of division, a reference point, is able to breathe now, is no longer contracted either. There's levels to this thing, okay? Get out of the thinking mind, get out of the emotions, get out of the apprehension, the reference point. And these words will always come up a little short, right? But basically, what's happening here is a fist that's been contracted is finally allowed to release. And you have the fists everywhere. And the head just releasing. We have lots of room here. It's like if you had 100 acres of forest and you built a little bitty box under a tree and you crawled inside this box and you tried to live there. And you're kind of looking around, this is my home. I can't really have guests, it's too small. And then some fly gets in your box. Oh my God, this is crazy. Get this thing out of here. Yeah, your mind is a vast, spacious, more spacious than space. You're aware of space. Space is in your awareness. The whole planet is. The sun and the moon. More spacious than space. You don't need to live in a box. Uh-huh. So that's all I wanted to share today. What do you think? Any comments, questions going on? It makes sense. It's very straightforward. Huh. Good. And as long as you see the nature of mind, spaciousness is yours. Be good to go. It starts with recognizing, we just say awareness for the sake of accessibility. And then there's the appearance of the phase of familiarization, as if the person in the dream is now warming up, getting used to being the whole mind that's having the dream. This multidimensional, multifaceted mind that can create entire environments, that can create the feeling of rigidity and solidity. When you go to sleep and you have a dream, you feel solids. You can smell stuff. How the heck is your mind doing that? Creating the feeling of solidity. I went in my dream and I got smacked upside the head. You even shook your body when it happened. How did your mind create that? There was no smack. You never got hit. Just like that, everybody. There's no smack now. You can see yourself like when a dog looks at you. When a dog looks at you, it's just, it doesn't know you have a PhD. It doesn't know that you really messed up last year with your partner. It doesn't know that you drive a car. Nothing. The dog just looks at you. Can you look at each other like that? Minus the tongue. You don't need to have the tongue. the, the tongue is optional. But look at the innocence there. Because a dog isn't over conceptualizing, isn't writing a story about each individual person. A dog is a dog. Maybe little stories. Little Bear does seem to treat me a little different than other people that come visit. But still, there's this blank slate when they look at you. And maybe you could look at yourself like that too. And believe me, you can still have all your accomplishment, all your plaques on the wall, your entire biography can still be there. Now, with a lightness. PhD, no PhD, all good. Same thing as the banana. When you just imagine yourself as a banana. All of a sudden, all the stories are cleared, the identity constructs, all of it.